We did well in the first half. I thought we played well defensively. I thought we stopped the run. I thought we stayed on schedule. I thought we did a few things offensively. Obviously, the turnover going in before the half in the red area was a significant play. I think they ended up turning around on their next drive and scoring. So second half obviously was different, but it's difficult. It's difficult losing. We have a few days here where we've got to get back and, get on to the next game. But any questions? No, he was playing quarterback. I heard his finger. We had to splint it somewhere in the first half, but he felt good enough to go. But our plan was to play him. I don't know. You'd have to ask him. I thought he played with a lot of heart, a lot of guts. We didn't help many in the first half. I'll be honest with you. We got to catch that first interception. We got to. It's the perfect coverage look we get. We drop a ball. They make a good play on it. That's unfortunate. Yeah, I'm not real familiar with that type of block on that situation. It's unfamiliar. No, it's a safety blitz.
I know you need tape to fully evaluate, but how do you evaluate the 3 interceptions?
Look, look, you gotta look at the entirety of it all and be honest. When you watch it, you got to study, what we're doing well, who's doing it. Obviously, we've got a number of new guys that are doing things that, they're playing for the first time, and if they're going to play next week, we got to improve. In the meantime, get some of those other guys back. Yeah, it's a real good team. Look, it starts with defending the run well. We were able to do that, and that was certainly one of our keys. We felt like was important with this team when they rush, when they get the running game going. They become real difficult. And but I thought we did a lot of good things defensively. Relative to how we wanted to play this game. Look, time of possession. I mean, the defense is back out on the field several times. Obviously, there's an attrition to that. Yeah, look, I thought we did some good things running it tonight, but much better than a week ago. And I think you're referring to tonight, not last week. And so, yeah, I thought whether it was running back runs or quarterback runs, our yards per carry, that we felt like that had to be better than a week ago. But you got to take advantage of it in the red zone, and I don't think we did a good enough job there.
Did you start calling that series of design runs for Taysom Hill? Were they pre-planned on that drive, or you saw that?
No, it's part of our look. You have it in the game plan. You can't spend the whole night, doing that. But it gives you an advantage. It's something that, there's a physicality that comes with him and the style of play, and he did a good job. Yeah, look, we'll look at the tape. We're not going to have a whole breakdown tonight. Anything else? Trying to look at every type of protection or play that felt like we could reduce the stress on those two players. How do we not turn it into a night where there's 8 or 9 sacks? In fairness to the process of coaching, and how do we give those guys and our team the best chance to win, whether it's movement throws, whether the protection was different with bumps or nudges. We felt like that was going to be important considering, some of the ends that we were going to see. We'll see. Yeah, I mean, it's a few days. We'll get guys some rest, come back next week, and then get ready for a regular scheduled work week. All right. Thank you.
Hey, what's going on, Who Dat Nation? It is yours truly, TJ Jones, the host of the State of the Saints podcast, giving you the State of the Saints podcast post-game show. The final score, the Saints lose their 5th straight game, this time to the Dallas Cowboys by a score of 27-17. This moves the New Orleans Saints to a record of 5-7. This is the first time the New Orleans Saints have lost 5 games in a row under Sean Payton. And that's been the first time since they lost 5 games in a row since 2005, the year before Sean Payton got to New Orleans. So, some of you, this is probably uncharted territory for you all. Some of you are probably really upset because you're not used to seeing the Saints in this state. Who that nation? I've been telling y'all for the last couple of weeks. I've been saying this, and I don't know if people just think that I was just saying this because, I want you to be optimistic and all that, but I've been telling people they needed to lower their expectations when it came to the New Orleans Saints. They needed to lower their expectations because this was not going to be a really good season. When you look at all of the things that have happened to this team, all the injuries that they have sustained, I mean, it was going to be very, very hard for this team to try to be formidable. And, watching this game tonight, I mean, I can't even really say I got mad at watching the game, at any point, because number one, I kind of figured that the Dallas Cowboys were going to win this football game. Number two, I just felt like the Saints were just going to show us what they've been showing us for the last couple of weeks. And I understand that people think that, it's a new starting quarterback coming in, so it's going to make things much better. But that's not always the case. Taysom Hill. Taysom Hill, I love Taysom Hill as a football player. I love him as a football player. I love his fire. His determination. I like the way that he generates excitement from the crowd. But that's not winning football. You're not going to win football games like that, okay? That's why I tell people all the time, stop getting so wrapped up in your emotions about players. Not because that player tries hard. If you want to be honest, all the players try hard. All of them work hard. But it takes a special guy to come in, week out, game in, game out, and perform at a high level. Taysom Hill did the best that he could, man. And in some cases tonight, he put the team on his back. He tried to carry the load. But Taysom Hill, God bless the brother. He is not a starting quarterback in the National Football League. He's not, man. He is not a starting quarterback. And I'm going to be real. I'm happy that some of y'all actually seen this game. I'm serious. I'm happy that some of y'all saw this because in the back of some of your minds, you probably thought that Taysom Hill was just one of the most well-kept secrets in football, and nobody really wanted to give this guy an opportunity. Here was Taysom Hill on a big stage. Great opportunity, golden opportunity to go out there and prove the naysayers wrong, but instead he threw 4 interceptions, 1 pick six. It don't make me feel any better to say this at all. But all I'm saying is the Saints have to go in a completely different direction if they want to be able to sustain success in the future. Now, I mean, I'm just being honest. This season is pretty much over. Okay, there's man, unless they just go on some type of crazy winning streak, which I highly doubt. Looking at that offense and looking at how much that defense has to carry this team and how attrition plays a huge role at those guys getting all those snaps on defense because the offense can't sustain drives. So I think we all can agree that most likely this season is over. But looking at these quarterbacks, Trevor Siemian, Taysom Hill, this ain't it, bro. Okay, and some of you probably had issues with Jameis Winston, but I think we all can agree that Jameis Winston is better than what the last 3 weeks of football we've seen at the quarterback position. So, I mean, I really honestly don't know what else to say. Tonight was pretty much what we expected. The Dallas Cowboys, to me, aren't a very good football team. The only thing is the Dallas Cowboys had more hands on deck than the New Orleans Saints. And because of that, they were able to win the game. The Saints being behind the 8 ball still gave Dallas all they can handle. The Saints just wasn't talented enough to get over that hump. So I'll go ahead and go over the stats, and then I'll just open up the phone lines, answer a few calls. I apologize. It's not going to be a long show, folks, because once again, I'm still dealing with the flu. I'm actually pressing the mute button in between my conversations because I'm coughing. But all right, but let me go ahead and read the stats for the New Orleans Saints. Taysom Hill, 19 of 41, 264 yards. For those that don't know, that's for 48%. That's 48% completion percentage. 2 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Taysom Hill also had 11 carries for 101 yards. Okay, he was really running the ball really well. Mark Ingram had 10 carries for 28 yards. Ty Montgomery, 4 carries for 21 yards. Deontay Harris had 1 carry for 3 yards. And also receiving. Deontay Harris, 4 catches, 96 yards. He had that big 70-plus yard run for the touchdown. That was all him. Shouts out to him, man, not giving up. Lil Jordan Humphries, 2 catches, 49 yards. Nick Burnett, 3 catches, 48 yards. Juwan Johnson, 1 catch, 27 yards. Traquan, 2 catches, 15 yards. Callaway, 1 catch, 13 yards. Just downright pathetic stuff right here. PJ Williams, who I feel like was one of the best players on the field tonight, and honestly, probably one of the best players on the Saints defense. Can't believe I'm actually saying this, but he had 8 tackles and 1 sack in this game. You also had Quan Alexander with 7 tackles. Marshawn Lattimore had 5 tackles and 1 interception. And you have a bunch of guys who really just was out there, made a few plays, but only 1 sack was given up by the offensive line of the Dallas Cowboys. But here's the thing, man. I'm going to go ahead and start with these receivers. I've seen enough. These receivers are trash. I don't care what anybody says. You know, I've been kind of holding back because I'm like, okay, man, these guys are a bunch of role players, but this is just god awful, man. I mean, you talking about hitting an all-time low. I mean, this is like bottom feeding bargain basement type stuff right here. I mean, these guys cannot get any separation. They cannot make contested catches. And what ticks you off the most is that you're watching the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, they're wide receivers out there like they're in Circus Soleil or something like that, catching toe drag receptions and going down to the ground, catching the ball with one hand, going out of bounds, all these different plays. And yet the receivers that we have can't even catch the ball when the ball is like thrown directly at them. You know, and if the ball isn't thrown directly at them, man, you might as well just throw catching a pass out of the window. Like, seriously. Like, if any type of pass has to be contested in any way, shape, or form, not one wide receiver of the New Orleans Saints is going to come down with the football. And I'm getting tired of it, man. I'm getting tired of it. And the Saints, they better do something about this, man. I don't want to see no damn offensive line, no linebacker, no defensive end from a school I never even heard of. The Saints need to address their offense immediately in the draft, okay? In free agency, they need to address this because, look, You cannot keep on parading out on the field and just think just because you're a master play caller or people just call you the Zen master of the offensive plays that you're just going to continue to have success offensively, especially since you don't have that cheat sheet in the backfield named Drew Brees anymore. Drew Brees made a lot of these receivers look much better than what they actually are. And he made a lot of us feel like we can win with just anybody. Drew Brees was so amazing that he clouded our judgment about how we look at these wide receivers. These receivers that we have on this team cannot get the job done. If you have a quarterback coming in, you have to surround him with playmakers. You got to surround him with some guys that are going to catch the football, that are going to make contested catches, and that are going to go out there and ball the freak out. You don't have that luxury anymore where Drew Brees can throw back shoulder throws or throw guys open. You don't have that luxury anymore. You don't have that luxury anymore. You don't have it. And I don't understand like why people just think that this is going to change. Taysom Hill couldn't save this team. Trevor Siemian can't save this team. People talking about Ian Book. He can't save the team. This offense is garbage. It is trash. It is pathetic. And you don't have greatness in the backfield to be able to compensate for it. If you miss any person on this offense, let's just say starting this season, we didn't know about Michael Thomas. We know Alvin Kamara was playing. You basically got to have every single person out there in order for this team to be a cohesive unit offensively. Because this ain't it, bro. This ain't it. This is not it. This is the type of stuff that have you picking in the top 5 every year. This is the type of stuff that have you, you know what I'm saying, not being on primetime television. And I'm going to be honest with you, Who Dat Nation. The last 2 weeks, the Saints have been on primetime television in front of a world stage, and they have laid an egg. And it has been embarrassing to watch. And trust and believe, the NFL is about ratings. So if they're watching Taysom Hill throwing interceptions and they're watching Trevor Siemian nickel and dime it down the field and try to come through in fourth quarter heroics and not putting up no points, guess what they're going to do? The Saints are not going to get no more primetime television games. They're going to be the 12 o'clock boys, or Eastern Standard Time, the 1 o'clock boys. Now, like I said, I'm giving this team a pass. I'm sorry. I got to. I'm giving them a pass because they're not very good because of all the things that they sustain. The defense played with more heart than I seen last week. The offense tried, but they're just not good enough, man. They're just not good enough. And that's just something we have to come to grips with. They're not good enough. I mean, they're just not good enough, man. I'm going to go ahead and read some of the comments, and I'm going to open up the phone lines. Chris says, had to switch over to talk some mess. Glad we got to see what receivers we have. Now get rid of them. Yeah, all of them can go if you ask me. All of them can go. Besides Deontay Harris, which I feel like Deontay Harris, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know if somebody talked to this dude. I don't know if, you know what I'm saying, somebody convinced him to stay. I remember I read an article. He was going through some things. Shouts out to the brother, man. I think him and his girlfriend, they lost their baby. And he was talking about how he was dealing with depression. He almost quit football. I don't know if that still affected him or not. I mean, he made some plays, but he made some plays, man. But I don't know, man. It's just something that's missing with Deontay Harris right now. You know, I mean, he made that play tonight, but I mean, it's just something that's missing about him. I can't really put my finger on it, but I mean, he did what he could tonight. Okay, let me see. All these people was calling Drew Brees noodle on noodle and was very accurate. Well, they was calling noodle on, but I guarantee everybody and their mama want that noodle on here today. I tell you that. Guarantee you. I got nothing. I mean, nothing really you can say. I miss Drew. I think we all do. Like, look, man, I said this, man. There's a reason why Drew Brees is special. The reason why we look at him as the greatest saint of all time. I mean, I don't know if people just thought like anybody can do what he do, but that's not the case. Mike Williams, welcome to the 504. Just go 6-11. Nah, I ain't about no tanking stuff, man. You play as hard as you can. Whatever your record is at the end, it is what it is. Let's see. Drew just didn't have the arm anymore. But I guarantee you, if Drew was out there tonight, they would have won this football game. Dallas Cowboys are not that good. That's the thing about it. There's nothing about that game. Like if you're a Dallas Cowboy fan, there's nothing about that game where, you know, you looking at this team like, oh man, we gonna go all the way. Like if the Saints had a decent, serviceable quarterback out there, no disrespect to Taysom, okay, but if he would have played serviceable, then turn the ball over and got the ball where it needed to be, then the Saints would have won the football game. I apologize, folks. I'm keep pausing. I'm coughing in between me talking. But let me go ahead and open up the phone lines, see what you all have to say. About to go ahead and put the link down in the chat. Feel free to chime in. Let's see. Just keep losing games and play for draft picks. I just don't like the whole tanking thing. I just don't like the whole tanking thing. I just don't like that. But we're gonna go to God of Creation. God of Creation, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Hey, I'm first now. Oh yeah, I like that.
Yeah, what you got for us, man?
Oh well, first, TJ, I hope you get better, man.
Thank you, man.
Man, you've been hustling and trying to be going through it, man.
Yeah.
I appreciate the grind, and you know, somebody as young as myself, that really inspires me because you ain't making no excuses. You here and you feeling bad, so
yeah, man.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, man, I appreciate y'all, man, for bearing with me. And like I said, I just man, this game didn't make me feel no better, man. But what are your thoughts on the game, man?
I hate to be that person, but you remember, I think it was when it was the game after Tampa. I forgot who we went against. Right. You remember when I said we're not a playoff team? This is exactly what I meant. This is exactly what I meant. Because it's like, you know what I'm saying? And I see everybody's like, oh my God. You know what, Saints fans? Y'all ain't got, y'all, man, we down south. How y'all not going to represent a brother? Y'all over here like, oh my God, I miss Drew Brees. Man, he did. Man, he let the brother retire. Man, we got Jameis. Man, we need all hands on deck. Man, stop. Y'all gotta stop. Man, stop being that. Them weird. Like, I don't like that. How everybody's just, oh my God, Drew, help, Drew. Like, man, we got Jameis. Cool, calm down. Jameis was playing better than Russell. Russell just put up 14 points with DK and Tyler Lockett. He put up a measly 14 points. Like what? I no disrespect to Russell Wilson. I think he's I can't say who's better right now because Jameis was playing better than him with less talent. But overall, you can say he's better. But the thing is, if we go and get Russ, we're gonna have to give up some. We're gonna have to give up some picks, and I don't think it's worth it to give up picks for him because I think we will. I think the better route for us, personally, is we keep Jameis because he was doing good. We dropped the wide receiver with our first pick. second pick, I think we should get a safety to replace Jenkins whenever he because Jenkins is getting old. And we saw it on the field. He just got murdered by CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb caught a body on him. And I feel like we should get like 2 wide receivers and like a safety. Because you know what I'm saying? I think we're good on line. I saw somebody say linebacker. We're good on linebacker. If we keep Quan and find a way to keep Pete Warner, I feel like we'll be good right there. I just think I'm just really looking forward to the the next season, because I'm like, if we gotta be real, like, say we just miraculously just won every game from now, the playoffs ain't going. We play. You need offensive like spark in playoff. You feel me?
Right.
And I don't see it from this team. You know what I'm saying? At least when Jameis was here and AK were here, I ain't see nobody give up. You know what I'm saying? Defense was actually playing at their best when they were on here. And I think it kind of hurts our defense knowing like, oh man, we gonna get this stop, but Lord knows that our offense can't score to save their lives.
Yeah.
So to be honest, I just really think we should move on. Trusting Jameis. You know what I'm saying? Because he did, like, I know people want to be like, oh, he's 30 for 30, but like, come on, he threw 5,000. You know what I'm saying? No bum does that. Because if he was truly bad, why isn't Taysom Hill doing it? Why isn't Trevor doing it? If it was so easy to just throw 5,000 yards. But yeah, I think the organization should just trust in him if he's healthy enough. Because I don't know if it's season or career ending. Trust him. Go with some receivers for your first rounders, and then pick up a safety. And I feel like we back to being the 2018 Saints.
Well, I mean, hopefully things can't get no worse than what I've seen offensively these last couple of games. So, man, maybe you're right, man. Because God of creation, man, thank you so much for chiming in. I really do appreciate it, man.
Yeah, thank you for having me, CJ.
All right, man. Take it easy. Yeah, man. I mean, look, I'm a huge Russell Wilson fan. A lot of people know that. Dude is my favorite quarterback in the league since Drew Brees retired. But I look at, like, one thing I look at money, I look at age, and I look at possibilities, right? I mean, you look at Russell Wilson, he just turned 33 years old. The Saints were to get him, what you going to sign him like a 4-year deal? I mean, so that means he'll be finished up like almost, 36, 37 years old. I mean, at least if Jameis comes back and he's healthy, guy's going to be 28 years old. So he's still like in the prime of his career. You can still get something out of that. I mean, I like both of them, but I think that Jameis to me would be more obtainable, and it'll be, better cost friendly than it would try to get Russell Wilson to come to New Orleans. But we're going to go to Josh. Josh, how you doing, man?
TJ, I got to ask you something, man.
What's that?
Do you worship Satan?
I do not.
Because the God of all creation just called in, and you didn't even bow down. You didn't even ask him for forgiveness for your sins or nothing.
Man, I'm sorry, man. I was too busy over here taking cough drops. So I apologize for that. Just trying
I'll
to
let it go this time. I'll let it go this time, man. But you got to show respect to the Lord of all creation. You know what I'm saying? But no, dude, there are so many things. I'm going to say something that's not popular with the chat and even with you. We should have stuck with Trevor. Trevor does not suck. Even in that last game, he made enough decent throws that, he did some boneheaded things too. But, you look at Trevor Siemian's stats. If there wasn't those 30 or 40 drops from the receivers, we'd be having a whole different conversation about Trevor right now, man. Trevor's got talent to get us some wins. Is he going to get us into the playoffs now? No, but he can get us some wins. And if Sean would have cut him loose and to let him do what he can really do, he would get us a lot of interceptions. There's no doubt. But he'd also get us like some touchdowns. He's proven that he's got he's got talent in the past. But I was against putting Taysom in anyway, because Taysom couldn't get it done a couple years ago. We had weapons. When Taysom stepped in for us a couple years ago, we had Kamara, we had still Prime Ingram, we had Michael Thomas, we had Jared Cook. And Taysom couldn't even pass accurately, even with all those weapons. So what did we think he was going to do coming in with no weapons? And even if we would have won this game tonight, right? Even if there was no interceptions or nothing like that, even if we would have won this game tonight, I still wouldn't have been happy. I was shaking my head for most of the game because we were getting by on scrambles and trick plays. You can't do that every game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Within a game or two, defenses are going to be, shut that down real quick. You know what I mean? So
Right.
Taysom Hill, under no circumstances, Taysom Hill, the answer. And I mean, Trevor isn't really the answer either, but Trevor actually has legit quarterback talent and Taysom does not. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's just smarter to rock with Trevor. Mark Ingram, I mean, his age is showing. They're putting, they tried to put this game on him the last, few games or whatever, and you can't just put a game on him on a 32-year-old guy every game. It's just not going to work.
Right.
So I mean, just everything was out of sorts except of course for our defense. But yeah, we're going nowhere this year. I don't think we'll get more than 2 or 3 victories in the second half of the season coming up, and I don't know what else to say. There's just nothing. I'm with you. I'm drained, and I'm just like, there's no light at the end of this tunnel. And we can't get draft picks anyway, like good ones, because we already have too many victories for that. The very first draft pick goes to teams that are like 1-15, 2-14. Okay, the Detroit Lions are getting that pick.
Right.
So, but we should have stuck with Trevor. And I still think we should. I think they should restart Trevor next week. And he's a far better hope than Taysom. I mean, I've got more faith in him than the rest of you do, but at least now you can see he's far better than Taysom. At least now even the chat can probably admit that. So I don't know. That's all I really have for you, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, Josh, I appreciate the call, man. Thank you so much for chiming in, and call back anytime, man.
All right, brother.
All right. Yeah. I mean, it was a stinker tonight. It really was, man. Taysom Hill, man, my goodness. I mean, that was just bad. That was some bad football played at the quarterback position. He did some great things tonight. And like I said, I mean, him running in between the tackles, the H-power runs, I mean, all that was good. But, I mean, when it came down to passing, I mean, that's what quarterbacks do. They throw the football. He was throwing the football behind folk, throwing it at people's legs. Then he throw those 4 interceptions. That's definitely what you don't want to see. So I don't know what the Saints are going to do next week versus the Jets, but they're going to have to figure something out. We're going to go to Cedric. Cedric, how you doing?
All right. What's up, TJ? Can you hear me?
I can hear you, man.
Man, I don't know what's going to give. I don't know what is it going to take for us to get our stuff together. How can you go out there one week and play against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with these same guys, the same dudes they played against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and look formidable? But you go out there against these other teams and you can't do anything at all. You can't run the ball. You can't pass the ball. And people talking about Mark Ingram, like Lazarus said, Mark Ingram age is showing. What do you expect Mark Ingram to do behind this old line? Rush for 130 yards is just not going to happen. I mean, these wide receivers, everybody need to go, in my opinion, except maybe Deontay Harris and what his name is, big tall dude, Lil Jordan Humphrey. I think with a little more, time, he can be a formidable wide receiver as well. But the rest of them, Traquan Smith, he sucks. Marquez Callaway, he's not a good number 1. And, I don't think he's a good number 2 either, because Marquez Callaway cannot run good routes. I mean, he's good at contested catches, but that's about it.
No, he's not.
Run good routes.
He's good at contested catches in preseason. I haven't seen him make a good contested catch in a minute.
Yeah,
and he show up and he also shows up. Let's just be honest. I think he had a catch tonight, and it happened like when the covers were about as soft as a baby's bottom. You know, like he always showing up in garbage time. You know what I'm saying? That's
That's right.
not good football, man. You know what I'm saying?
And
That you know,
TJ,
man,
I
I
think
can't.
people owe you an apology because you were right about Taysom Hill. And you know, a lot of people, just like you said, they talked so much crap about Winston. They called him all kind of names, making fun of him on Facebook. And you know, even I seen one person in the Facebook group talk about the man kid, and everybody was dogging this man out. And he played better than everybody that started. And you know, I think it has a lot with what you said earlier, and people don't want to hear, but it got a lot to do with the man race. Because Taysom went out there and was awful tonight. But I see everybody on Facebook in the groups. Oh well, Taysom didn't have this. Taysom didn't have that. It don't matter. You're supposed to work with what you got. You know that. You know that's all I want to say. Because I'm kind of still upset about this loss. Because we still could have won this game if they would at least tried. They didn't even try.
Yeah, I just think, man, I just think that they didn't have enough horses in the barn, man. I'm gonna just be honest with you. I don't feel I'm not that like. Of course I wanted them to win, but it's just this different type of enthusiasm I have about this team, man.
Yeah. But that's all I want to say, TJ. I don't want to hold your line up.
I appreciate it, sir.
Right.
Take it easy, man.
Right.
Yeah. All right, man. We're gonna move on to Chef Peanut Nola. What's going on, Everett? How you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm Chief Peanut Nola. I'm not no chef. You know, and I want to say I pray for you. I'm hoping you get better if you can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you, man.
I'm not gonna say look. I'm not here to debate people up in the chat or go a route, but I'm not gonna sit here and put all this on Taysom Hill. Some of you guys are something, man. I tell you, sometimes I listen and I watch some of you guys talk football, and then you there with a person, then you're not there with a person. My thing was this game. You tell me, and this goes for Simeon. This goes for even Winston. Okay, if Winston would still be playing right now with the injuries that we had with Alvin Kamara, the injuries, the basically the back, you know, the injuries to the backfield, and basically the injuries overall, I don't think even if the brother Winston would have stayed, I really believe this team would be right where they are. And I think what's going on, you know, you do realize nobody's talking about the man messed his finger up. And y'all act like, I mean, I played quarterback before. I played quarterback in high school. I played semi-pros. You break your finger or you hurt your finger. We saw what happened to Drew Brees. Y'all give excuses to the boy that I want here next year, which is Russell Wilson. But Russell Wilson dealt with the same injury. He dealt with a major thumb injury like Drew Brees. This is and they rushed the band back pretty fast. That's pretty much the reason why you can't tell me that Russell Wilson is garbage. None of y'all can tell me that. Okay. Just because he hurt his finger or whatever. People turn on quarterbacks so quick, it's sad. First they turned on Simeon. Now they turned on this man. This man rushed for over 100 yards rushing on the ground, and you guys act like that's easy to do in the NFL. The guy played with basically scrubs, and you gonna tell me if I put a football team with you put any quarterback with the New Orleans Saints, and you tell me that they would have been successful tonight, other than the Drew Brees, who is used to have, he was making guys. Drew Brees had a way of throwing people open, but this is not Drew Brees. And Jameis, I like Jameis, but do I think that Jameis is my future? And this has nothing to do with the color of his skin. Okay, Sean Payton baby this man for a reason. Okay. The quarterback that I want, there's only two quarterbacks that will please me next year in a draft pick. Either Kenny Pickett and from Pittsburgh, or we go to route drafting. This is a cheaper route to do, or we go get Deshaun Watson. You get Deshaun Watson, which is a much younger player, or my boy Russell Wilson. Even Aaron Rodgers might walk to the Saints to play with Sean Payton, my brother. You know what I'm saying? So I don't understand Saints fans how y'all, how everybody can put this on Taysom Hill on the circumstances of hurting his finger and playing with a bad ass, roster. You just got to tell me, TJ. I love listening to you. I'm gonna continue listening to you, but tell me where this is Taysom fault only. Please tell me, dog.
I can't really tell you that. All I know is he threw 4 interceptions in the game.
Out, brother. We shut out if it ain't for Taysom. If it ain't for Taysom running around doing what he done, it would look just like last week against the Buffalo Bills. We'd have been blowed out even worse. Taysom,
I think that's what everybody's saying though. There was nothing that really changed in this game. Like from last week. You only got like what? You know what I'm saying? A few extra points.
But quarterback, my brother. The quarterback can't do nothing with an offensive line. You got your 2 Pro Bowl offensive linemen. You got a right tackle that's an all pro, and you got a left tackle that's an all pro. And we're gonna act like these guys don't mean nothing.
How many sacks? How many sacks did the Saints offensive line give up tonight? 1.
They didn't give up much, but that
okay. We got to put it to
pass. You're gonna tell me the tip pass that they came up. DeMarcus Lawrence got in there, damn near crushed the man's finger. You get it. You don't have to get sacks to be able to disturb the quarterback. The NFL playing athlete just getting in the quarterback face. It's more than just sacks, my brother. Football.
How many interceptions did he throw tonight?
He threw. I can give him.
How many? No, I don't want to say. I don't want to give him. He threw 4 interceptions. How many interceptions?
I see Drew Brees throw 4 interceptions in the game.
We ain't talking about Drew Brees. Drew Brees is not playing. Drew Brees didn't play tonight. Drew Brees didn't play tonight. I'm sorry, man, but you're making excuses for the guy.
No. I'm sorry, but I think you come. Like I said, you one of the greatest analyzers. I got a lot of respect on what I see you do. But I do realize that a lot of time, man, you because I seen one of your videos. It's Taysom time. One of your videos before this, you wanted to see the dude out there. Okay, so when the dude do bad, so you ready to kick him while he's down. I don't rock like that.
Okay, why don't you put it into context about what I said? I said it cannot be any worse than what I seen from Trevor Siemian. Don't make it seem like I was like, oh, Trevor Siemian who didn't win the game. I was like, oh, Taysom Hill. I just need Taysom Hill so bad. Man, I like how y'all like to spin words, but please put stuff. I ain't got no problem with that, but please put it into context.
Let me tell you something, TJ. One thing about everything, I'm not gonna talk behind your back. I come up here on your platform to talk to you like a man, bro.
Put it into context.
I'm putting it in context. The bottom line, there's not a quarterback that other than Drew Brees that would have won tonight. That's just my opinion.
Taysom Hill had 4 interceptions in the game, man. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. So that doesn't happen. That doesn't happen. Russell Wilson is my quarterback. Like you, I like Russell Wilson. But Russell Wilson didn't look like shit last week. A lot of these quarterbacks are playing injured.
Okay.
So I'm with you with the Russell Wilson. That's my boy too. I call him Baby Breeze. You know what I'm saying? I think that this dude here can be electrifying in our offense. But let's not act. This guy here came off. Did you even analyze the foot injury that Taysom had? Taysom had the same injury that Drew Brees had in 2015. But this man is an athlete. He sucked it up like a man. He played the game. Then he also messed his finger up. But of course, you say that's not enough to give excuses. Like I said, I broke my finger in football.
Shouldn't have played.
It is what it is.
Shouldn't have played.
Right, come on, man. He shouldn't have played.
Yeah, 4 interceptions in this game, man.
Man, Brett Favre and all these great quarterbacks, they play, man.
Did Jameis Winston throw 4 interceptions in the game?
Jameis Winston threw 4 interceptions.
Did Trevor Siemian throw 4 interceptions in there?
No. With the Buccaneers.
Okay, does he play for the Buccaneers anymore? Why we keep on digging in the past? I'm talking about right now.
Because all this stuff that y'all talking about Jameis Winston. What do you see in Jameis Winston that is better than what we got?
264 yards, 2 touchdowns, 4 picks, 48% completion percentage.
Jameis Winston had his players. Jameis Winston had more. He had offensive linemen that was blocking for him.
What did he have more of?
He had a complete. He had
Eric McCoy. Eric McCoy out.
Alvin Kamara played. Alvin Kamara. Oh, come on, man. Now you're going with one player. I mean, you're talking about a quarterback who are lured. If it wasn't for his athletic ability, He allured many sacks. He got a lot of first downs. We're not in this football game
Who are we
if it
talking
wasn't for
about?
this man legs.
Who are we talking about?
I'm talking about Taysom Hill. We're not in this game.
Oh, you're
if it ain't
absolutely
for
right.
Taysom Hill.
Oh, you're absolutely right
We're
about
blown
that.
out.
We wouldn't have been in the game if it weren't for Taysom Hill. But he also threw the Saints out of the game too.
It's obvious he threw some bad passes. I'm not gonna sit here and say that the man played an awesome game. I'm sitting here telling you in the circle. I didn't say it.
As a football player, yes.
Brother,
as a quarterback, absolutely
but
not.
you see, a lot of you guys, bloggers, like to come on and you guys are spread a narrative and not understanding. Y'all not telling the whole story. Y'all not telling the whole story.
Hold on, man. What story am I not telling? 19 or 41?
You're not telling the whole story. The bottom line is there's not a quarterback, TJ, there's not a quarterback that would have won tonight on our roster.
I disagree.
And I'm gonna tell you this.
Jameis Winston would have won the game.
He's not. Jameis is injured, brother. And if Jameis,
I'm just saying, if he was healthy, he would have won the game.
If Jameis did not have his O-line and did not have Kamara, he's not winning this football game.
I mean,
he's not, because these guys not catching the ball, bro.
Was Andrews P hurt? Was Eric McCoy hurt? You have the same equivalence of
people
being injured.
No, that's not the same as
it's on the offensive line.
That ain't the same as having then you, like I said, you lose tight ends, you lose your tight end, you lose multiple players.
Come on, Everett, man. You know the tight end position ain't been on point until like one game against Philly.
I think the dude trash, but I'm just telling you that when it comes down to Jameis Winston was policed the whole time, and there's a reason why they policed Jameis Winston. I am not confident in the future to have Jameis Winston or Taysom Hill as my starting quarterback.
Okay. I ain't mad at you for that particular point. I think Jameis is more serviceable than Taysom is, but
I mean, yes, he is. He is. I matter of fact, I was one of the ones who was rooting for Jameis, but it would have been unfair to even say that Jameis could have won tonight without all of his core, without all the players. I'm just telling you that everything that happened tonight was not on Taysom Hill, not just on Taysom Hill. There's some bad football overall when it came down to the set, and the bad coaching. Do we talk about Sean Payton? Let me tell you something. With a guy like Taysom Hill, and like I said, TJ, I love talking football with you. But do you remember Colin Kaepernick? Colin Kaepernick was not an accurate football or quarterback as far as throwing the football, but they ran the read option. They put an offense in that was up to his capabilities. They asking Taysom Hill to run Drew Brees' offense. That is totally ridiculous. That's all I'm saying, brother. You got to use the man to his strengths. They did tonight, though.
They did tonight. They did tonight. When a lot of the passes they had out there was rollouts. They played to his strength.
And he did good on the rollouts.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like, they did everything in his favor to work with him. It just didn't work out, man.
My brother, due to the finger injury, once he got that finger tore, the balls was sailing to the ground. I know you don't want to give him an excuse because he ain't no Drew Brees, he ain't no Russell Wilson. When they break their thumb, it's easy for us to sit there and talk about with their hands up. But
he threw an interception in a red zone before he even hurt his finger, man. Did he not?
Well, that interception, a lot of people say that wasn't on him, brother.
Man, I'm just saying. All I'm saying is,
I mean, you been a little TikTok. I mean, I saw Jameis throw. Jameis throw a couple of interceptions.
What was it? Okay, Jameis throw this. Like we talking about tonight. Jameis ain't here. The dude threw 4 interceptions. Do you understand? Like, you trying to make an argument for a guy that threw 4 interceptions, 1 pick 6.
All I'm saying, brother. I seen the great Tom Brady throw 4 interceptions. Matter of fact, to the Saints. Okay, so
you compare Taysom Hill to the great Tom Brady?
Oh, look. I'm saying interceptions in a game. That's all I said. I didn't say nowhere in the world. No, don't do that to me, TJ. There's no way I believe that this brother is on a level of Tom Brady. No, I ain't never said that. I said the man kept us in the game with his legs.
I agree. I agree with that. On
a point defense, over 100 yards by himself.
Right. I agree with that. Look, that part is indisputable. All I'm saying is, when he was running the football as a football player, doing his Swiss Army thing, he was handling his business. When it was time to throw the football, left a lot to be desired. That's all. That was my whole point.
I just would have liked to seen the team a little more healthier, and I wish he could have played with a healthier Saints, and I could make a little bit more out of him. To say that the man is garbage and trash and all this other stuff.
Oh, I ain't say he was trash. Now, they ain't never come out of my mouth. I just said he's not a start.
TJ doing it, bro.
I want to make that clear. I did not say that Taysom Hill was trash, because people I'm just saying, people will think that I'm saying that the dude is trash. All I'm saying is he is not the long-term solution.
Oh, we all agree. Listen,
that's all I'm saying.
I'm on the same page with that, TJ. There's no way in the world I believe this man is the future, but he's gonna help us with them little roles, that he play. I just believe that, and I want. What do you feel if we get Deshaun Watson? Do you feel? I really feel that would be a guy that I would put some draft choices. I heard you say early on about Russell Wilson and him being 33 years old. And if you're going to spend draft choices, if you're going to give up some players, if you want to talk about young, you said Jameis is young, being 28. Well, imagine giving it to a 27-year-old or 26-year-old Deshaun Watson, who would be outstanding in our offense. I would rather, if I'm going to give up something, I would rather give it to that young man. That's just my opinion. And even if Aaron Rodgers, don't sleep on Aaron Rodgers playing for the New Orleans Saints. Remember, I'm telling you this. Don't sleep on him coming to play with Sean Payton. We're gonna get an elite quarterback. We're gonna get have a great future. But I still say draft a quarterback. What you think about Kenny Pickett?
I think that he's a good quarterback. I think he's solid. But here's the issue. I just think that Sean Payton just does not have the patience to try to develop young quarterbacks. I just don't. I see the Saints drafting a wide receiver in the first round before I see them drafting a quarterback. And I really feel like I really feel, based on his age, based on the money that they and the cap situation that they're dealing with, Jameis Winston is a more logical solution. Now, if I'm talking about you ain't got to worry about salary, you ain't talking about no money, of course, Deshaun Watson would be my top pick based on his age, based on his experience, based on his game breaking ability, of course. But I'm looking at it from a monetary standpoint. We can want these guys all day, but we know what these veteran quarterbacks are going to demand. They're going to want these $27, $30 million contracts. And we know that the Saints are cap stricken right now. I mean, they still haven't paid some key players. And then you got going into the next year, you got to think about paying guys like C.J. Gardner-Johnson. You got to think about if you want to repay David Onyemata, stuff like that. So those are important things that you have to think about. And I think that if we break that all down, I think that the best solution for the New Orleans Saints is for them to re-sign Jameis Winston back. I'm just looking at it from a monetary standpoint.
Yeah, we the Broncos. We the today's Broncos. I wouldn't even rule out Teddy Bridgewater coming back. I wouldn't even rule that out because of the connection with you got to understand that Jameis is not under contract, and there are better options out there. I know you guys like what Jameis done. I just didn't see Jameis. Sean didn't open this offense up with Jameis. Okay, we got 5-2. We had a good 5-2 record. We were playing decent, but you got to understand, like I said, our backfield was healthy. We had a little bit more, it was conservative, but that conservative offense was gonna, by the back end of the schedule, I just believe we'll be just like what we are right now. I'm not sold on none of the Saints quarterbacks. I think it's time to see what Ian Book can do. You drafted Ian Book. You went out there and you got him. You said that he's similar to a Drew Brees. Why we gave Taysom a chance. We gave that other brother a chance. Let's see what the young brother can do. Let's see what this young man can get out there and do. I think Saints fans want to see and the urge, because I would hate for us to let Ian Book walk and then walk on and become a Tom Brady. I'm not saying he will, but that's a guy that you just don't know. We need to give this brother a shot. And I want to tell you, like I said, I love talking to you. Your intellect about sports is impeccable. You on another level, okay? But I'm not here to agree with everything that you say, my brother. That's just what football is all about. We're not gonna always agree, okay? In all due respect, it's just the way it is. Football is about opinions. Everybody got opinion, okay? So it just I enjoy talking to you, and you might be right, and I might be wrong. I would love to come back and say how wrong I am. Okay, but I just don't think Jameis is the key for us in the future. And people, they got people who are against Jameis because of the color of his skin, and they got people who want Jameis because of the color of his skin. I mean, I don't really care if he's black, white, green, or brown. If it's Teddy Bridgewater, it does not matter. I want a guy that can sit there and sit in the pocket, who can actually listen to Sean Payton and understand what he's doing. Okay, so thank you for allowing me to come on your platform.
No problem, man. Call back anytime, man. Thank you for the dialogue, brother. Take it easy. All right, man. But anyway, that was Everett, man. I mean, look, everybody entitled to their opinion. You know, I have no problem with nobody giving their point of view. I really don't. I just would like when people, you know what I'm saying, put my words into context. You know what I'm saying? Like, the whole Taysom Hill was, like I was just clamoring for Taysom Hill to be the starter after Trevor Siemian stunk it up on last Thursday night. It's not true. I just said that him being a starter can't be no worse than what we seen from Trevor Siemian, or what I like to call him now as Rock Siemian. T. Smitty, thank you very much for the $5. Says Aaron Rodgers is staying in Green Bay. Watson has no trade and going to Miami. Russ has stunk since last season. Can you drop the call in the link? All right, I'll do that. All right, we're going to go to Rob, man. Rob, what's going on, man? How you doing?
Hey, what's happening, bro? I hope you feel better, bro. I know you got a mouthful on that last call you just got there.
Hey, man, it is what it is, man. Like, I'm not like, I mean, look, I'm not here to go, debate and all that kind of stuff, man. All I'm saying is tonight, it wasn't the best night for Taysom Hill. But Rob, what you got for us, man?
No, it wasn't, bro. Now, my thing is this, right? You got Russell, you got Aaron, you got Deshaun. Hell, you even gonna have Jimmy Garoppolo. We can't deal with none of them because we're gonna have to give up too much for what we got. Stick with Jameis, let him sign another prove-it deal, and we can upgrade elsewhere. And Taysom can go back to doing Taysom-y things. Okay, that's number one. We're gonna draft a wide receiver. We need to draft a wide receiver with that first round pick. And trust me, O-line will be coming within the second or third round pick, because that's just Sean Payton's MO. And we need a safety. I almost shot my TV looking at Marcus Williams doing that, bro. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
Yeah.
But other than that, man, I knew our backs was against the wall. We got too many injuries to try to be competitive for a solid 4 quarters. I knew at some point it was going to catch up to us.
Right.
So, and I understood your point. We might as well see what Taysom can do. I understood exactly what you meant, because a lot of us were saying the same thing. And now, and I'm kind of glad that Taysom did get that chance to start. So now people can understand this is what you are clamoring for, be a quarterback, and this is what you're going to get.
Yep.
This is what you're going to get. It's just simple as that.
That was I was happy about mostly. Like, it answered a lot of questions. And
exactly.
look, we can make all these man, I ain't here to make no excuse for no quarterback. All right. Like, some things, like, you see and you be like, oh, it was this person's fault. I'm like, bro, it's hard for me to dispute 4 interceptions. Okay. Like, if one of those interceptions was like a Hail Mary going into the halftime, right? You can kind of look past it. But I'm talking about dude was like throwing a ball. Ain't nobody was nowhere near the ball. And I'm
nowhere near the ball. Exactly.
I'm like, it's hard to dispute that, man.
Yeah, he may have had a, bum finger, but prior to his bum finger, he still was off target, So I just hope this game here puts it to rest. I really do. And we could just move on and just finish out the season. I'm not saying tank the season. I said finish out the season, because I'm not, I just don't understand people want to tank a season, and I've been hearing that a lot lately. So, but other than that, and if the Cowboys want to hang their hat on this win, Cowboys trash. They're going to be one and done in the playoffs. Man, so I'm not even worried about that.
Ain't a thing. I wasn't impressed by nothing I seen from the Cowboys tonight at all.
Exactly. So other than that, bro, I hope you feel better, my man. I'm not a long-winded individual. I get to my points and I move on. But to that other caller, I care less if you play quarterback, son. Obviously, you're not looking at the game at a perspective. He got his emotions into this game. He just feeling a certain kind of way. He needed attention, and obviously, it looked like he was by himself, so nobody wasn't paying him no attention. But you, TJ, you did
Nah,
it,
man.
brother.
I mean, he's man, like nah, man. Rob, I don't want to disrespect him, man. Everett is a really good guy. He talks Saints. He got a Facebook page. He talks about the New Orleans Saints and on New Orleans Pelicans. I mean, he do a good job over there, man. I just think that sometimes, man, we be passionate about our opinions and stuff like that. And I don't have any problem with that. But I the only thing is, I just want us to keep things into context. I'm just saying, like, I will take responsibility for things that I say, but it got to be in context. But Rob, thank you so much. Call back anytime, brother.
All right, thank you.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, man, that's all I'm saying. I mean, but tonight, looking at Taysom Hill, I don't know where the Saints can go. Is it Ian Book time? Is it time for us to see Ian Book? I mean, if you end up losing to the Jets, you might as well just go ahead and let the brother play. See what you can get out of him. All right, we're gonna move on to Castro. Castro, what's going on, man?
What's going on, brother? How's it going?
Man, it's going just fine, man. What you got for us?
All right, man. First of all, I know your night ain't been the easiest with that massacre that we saw on TV. I mean, to be honest with you, bro, if a quarterback is throwing touchdowns to the defense, then it's just you're in for a bad night.
Yeah, man.
When that is going on.
For real.
But, man, to these other callers talking about Taysom Hill as the future, they need to, hush up on that, man. Yeah, Jameis, I don't know why we so quick to jump off the bandwagon with Jameis, man. He was doing really well with what he had, and it's just unfortunate that he got injured. And for the people who say, oh, well, throw Ian Book or draft a quarterback, why would you want to bring a brand new quarterback into the system that we have in New Orleans? It's like you asking for him to go out there and play the same game that Taysom Hill just played. To be honest with you, TJ, the game Taysom Hill just played, he should be playing in the Arena Football League as a quarterback.
Nah, man, nah.
as a quarterback.
Yeah.
Now, as a Swiss Army knife, you can put him out there and let him do that. But, man, that was a bad performance, man. I don't think I've seen a quarterback throw that many interceptions since Nathan Peterman.
Ooh. Yeah, man. Look, I understand the man was hurt. He was dealing with some issues. And like I said, he had the warrior mentality. Going out there playing with all these injuries. But, man, he just ain't it, man. Like, he just not it.
He is not
He's just not it, man. Like, I'm just being dead serious right now. The
man,
dude just ain't it. I love Taysom Hill, bro. Like, I was like, when this dude ran that 23-yard run, when he hurdled over that guy, and you know what I'm saying, ran 10 more yards. Oh, man, I was excited too. But that's the thing. That's the problem I have, Castro. People fall in love with the product, like what he brings to the table. You know what I'm saying? But they don't really look at every nuance that it takes to be a starting quarterback in the National Football League. Like, it takes more than lowering your shoulder and jumping over a dude's head. Like, it's more than that, man.
Hey, and to your point earlier with, man, the throws he was throwing, it looked like punts on the TV screen. Like, his throws, they were so high in the air. Like, I'm 6'9", and I probably couldn't even catch those fast as he was throwing.
Man, look, he did an outstanding job offensively, like trying to carry this team. I will give him credit for that.
Yeah.
But he needs a lot to be desired at the quarterback position. Yeah, he needs a lot to be desired, man. That was my whole point. They need more than that.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And then, hey, I just want to make your last point. One last point.
Mm-hmm.
The defense, they played outstanding. I think they were competitive all the way until the fourth quarter where, you tire out, you gas out. And the offense was leaving a lot to be desired, especially with the scoring into the end.
Right.
And I just think, like, a lot of people, they're not giving enough respect to the defense, man. They keeping this team in games. They keeping them in these games because it could really be a blowout in the first half.
Yeah. They really be out there, man, putting their best effort. But, I mean, look, football is a war of attrition. And when you out there on the field when your offense can't sustain drives, when they getting 3 and outs, I mean, those 3 and outs add up during the totality of the game. So you can't expect for these dudes just to go out here and play with that same vigor and enthusiasm as they did the first, couple drives, because they starting to get tired. They get wore down. The dudes bashing into one another play after play. Your offense can't stay on the field. Like that's tough for any defense. I don't care what it is. But Castro, but you have anything else, man?
Oh no, thank you, brother, for even giving me the opportunity to speak.
All right, man. Castro, thank you so much, man. Appreciate the call.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. Shouts out to Castro. We'll get to Jeremiah in a minute. Excuse me. Vito in the house. Thank you very much for the $4.99. Said 4 interceptions. Nah, bruh. I think Jameis would have turned the corner without the injury. Much love to you and your family. Vito, thank you very much for the $4.99. Look, I don't understand what people are talking about when it comes to Jameis Winston. And honestly, anybody that's out here critiquing and criticizing Jameis, like, man, after what you just seen over the last few weeks, how can anybody fix their lips to talk about Jameis and try to critique based on what we've been seeing over the last couple of weeks? I hear people talk about, Jameis had, Kamara, Jameis had weapons. The only weapon that Jameis had that I guess Trevor didn't have was Alvin Kamara. You can say when Jameis was the quarterback, Deontay Harris played better. You had Juwan Johnson out there was leading the team in touchdowns. I mean, this dude had Deontay Harris as one of the best deep three threats in the game at that particular time. You didn't have Traquan Smith. He wasn't even playing. So basically you was out there with Callaway, Deontay Harris, and Alvin Kamara. And then Juwan Johnson, like I said, he was out there. So you didn't even really have those many players. And this dude went out there and made it work. When it came to 2-minute drives, he was out there wheeling and dealing. When it came to sustaining drive, he was able to do that with his legs. I don't understand it. Like the only problem that people had was that they was waiting for the bottom to drop with Jameis Winston. That was it. So everybody held their breath and hoped that he threw an interception for all the haters that probably just wanted to do it to fail. Held their breath and just waited for him to throw a pick. And if he throw a pick, they amplify the situation. But the dude, regardless of how you feel about the team, how you feel about the dude as a player, the Saints were 5-2 on his watch. Now you can talk about the defense played this. They played this way. They had this guy in the game. I don't care. Jameis Winston had this team at 5-2, and since he went down, this team has not won a football game since. So I don't know what to tell you, but it seems to me like that dude meant more to this team than a lot of people giving him credit for. Tim says, TJ, here's some Canadian dollars to get you some Buckleys. You feel better. Let's see. One question. Let me see. Why do we not run the ball always, especially when it's working? I don't know. I really like the whole third down play. Excuse me. You had Taysom Hill wheeling and dealing. Instead, you take a commercial break, come back, and get a 13-yard loss sacked by Michael Parsons. Like, why? If they can't, like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Right? If you're out there dominating and you're pushing these guys back and you're just running the football, keep running the football. I don't understand. Like, it seems like to me sometimes that Sean Payton be coaching against himself sometimes. Like, this dude be coaching against himself. Like, it seems like, man, okay, this working. Oh, man, they're going to find out what I'm doing. Let me pass the ball. Man, you run that thing till they stop you. And if they can't stop you, keep running it. Nobody cares. Like, you don't get extra points for style. Just run the damn football. If it's working, run the football. I just don't understand why you have to get away from something that works. This dude constantly, like, coaches against himself, overthinks situations. It's just amazing. But Jeremiah, we're going to go to Jeremiah. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
I'm doing just fine, man. What you got for me?
Well, I want to get this off my chest first.
Okay.
I feel that Drew Brees, he done for. He not coming back. So y'all just talk about Drew Brees. He not coming back.
Right.
Yeah, that's just it. And also, do you think that Taysom Hill and Trevor Siemian could, like, work together? So, like, Trevor Siemian is better at pocket passing and accuracy.
Right.
And, Hill is better at running.
Yeah.
So I feel that if Sean Payton would put them two together and use his brain, it got us to do something.
Yeah,
And
that's a good point.
Yep. And if we lose against the Jets, yeah, I'm not a Saints fan no more.
Nah, don't do that now. Nah, you can't chill for them when they win it and then throw them away when they down. Now, man, we got to see this thing through, Jeremiah.
And
Come
I
on,
feel
man.
that instead of always drafting a lineman, we need to draft some weapons this year.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think they do need some weapons, man. So, do you think the Saints gonna beat the Jets? What do you think?
I feel like they'll beat the Jets.
Mm.
But
Well, who you think gonna start? Okay, since you see Taysom Hill, you seen Trevor Siemian. So, if you was Coach Sean Payton, who would you have starting the game next week versus the Jets?
I feel like Sean Payton he'll put Taysom in,
Mm-hmm.
but he'll make it seem like he want to put Trevor at the same time.
Yeah, I think you have something there. I think you can use both of them. Like I think that Taysom with his Swiss Army roll and combine that with Trevor Siemian's passing, you might be able to do something there, man. That's a good point. You got anything else, man?
Oh yeah. Well, one last thing.
Uh-huh.
I feel that if a Hall of Fame quarterback wants to come to the Saints, let him come and let him have a chance to be a starter.
Okay. Yeah. Which Hall of Fame quarterback are you looking at? If you had opportunity to sign one of the guys, who you looking at?
Russell Wilson.
Russell Wilson. What you like most about Russell Wilson? What you think he can bring to the Saints?
He still have the speed, but he also have the accuracy.
Yeah. He definitely has one of the best deep balls in football. So I think that, and then he kind of similar to Drew Brees too. You know, as far as his passing ability and some of the plays that they run out there in Seattle. So that would be a good fit. All right, man. Thank you so much for calling in, man. Call back anytime. All right.
Thank you too. I hope you get better.
All right. Thanks, man. Yeah, man. That was a good call, man. Shouts out to him. Yeah, but yeah, you lose to the Jets, man. I'm like, but I don't know, man. As bad as they look tonight, man, that'll be, you know, that'll be I have to laugh at that one. But man, just take a moment, man, to just talk about how far we come here on the State of the Saints podcast, man. Shouts out to the young brother that just called in. You know what I mean? Like, dang, man, that's amazing, man. We get calls from the younger crowd like that, man, to give their take on the game. So shouts out to him. I didn't get a chance to ask him how old he was, man. But man, shouts out to you, man. Call back anytime, buddy. We're gonna go to T. Smitty. T. Smitty, how you doing, man?
Man, how you doing, good brother?
Man, I'm doing just fine, man. What you got for us?
Man, listen to I'm not even a Saints fan, but my dad kept calling me. He's a Cowboys fan.
Uh-huh.
But I'm gonna be objective. I know a lot of y'all, your fans, your listeners, are highly emotional. I gotta do some myth busting here. Aaron Rodgers is staying in Green Bay. They redoing that contract.
Mm-hmm.
they got too much of a window there.
Right.
Deshaun Watson has a no trade clause, and his extension is finally kicking in, which is like a half $30 million.
Right.
And he wants to go to Miami. Now, of all people to go to Miami, I don't know why it's him. You catch my drift. He needs to be somewhere like Denver. I'm just saying.
Utah.
Yeah. And Russell Wilson, I know people like the reputation. He has a great reputation. But ever since like the middle part of last year, they started letting Russ cook. He's been burning the kitchen down. He hasn't been good. He has Metcalf and Lockett and still stinks up the joint. And the same complaints you make like Jameis Winston, Russell does the same thing. Russell holds the ball. His short accuracy is not all that. Pretty deep ball. And so there's a lot. And he's gonna want a new contract also. But if Seattle may not trade him, it may end up firing Pete Carroll if that's the case.
Good point.
So here's the thing people got to look at. Pittsburgh and Denver are going to need a quarterback, and this draft sucks when it comes to quarterbacks.
True.
You cannot be out here trying to court these guys who ain't coming and potentially lose out on Jameis Winston, especially since he's coming off a torn ACL and had 2 cheap deals. He gonna probably want to get some money, and you can't blame him.
Right.
And it's like, if from what I watch it as a guy who's not a fan of the team, just a regular fan of the sport, that team believes in him. That defense believes in that guy.
Yep.
And And that goes a long way. And people keep talking Teddy Bridgewater. He's about to build his third team in 3 years. People gotta look at it this way with him. When he was playing those games with the Saints, he wasn't putting up arcade numbers, but also that team was whole. That was a whole different roster than they have now. They had the receivers, the backs, the line. All these people were healthy because I know they beat the Bucks that game, one of those games. But people got to think of that. That team 2 years ago, not this team now. And people will say they want Drew Brees back. He was like when Goku fighting like, Majin Buu. He goes from the blonde Super Saiyan hair to black. It was over. He played 20 years. It's over. But I just think like with Taysom Hill, what Dallas did was like teams do to Jalen Hurts now. Make him play quarterback. Make him sit back in that pocket and have to make reads. Yeah. And so that's what they did. And no matter how much Sean Payton loves him, no matter how much they could try to design stuff, you're going to have to play quarterback. He couldn't do it in college. He's 31 years old. It ain't happening. And I don't even think he's as talented as Cordell Patterson as a Swiss Army knife. I'm just being honest. We see it. And everybody talk about Ian Book. If Sean Payton thought this guy was the answer, he would have done it. The most popular guy on the team is the backup quarterback. He was a fourth-round guy for a reason. And let's just be honest, y'all. Whoever watched college football, tell me that y'all saw Ian Book like, oh, man, he's going to be a pro. He's going to be a big-time quarterback. If he was playing for the Carolina Panthers and they put him as a starter, most of these fans would be laughing at that right now.
Yep.
But I'll say this, man. That defense plays their butts off every week. And I got to give them credit. But what people got to understand also trying to train for these quarterbacks, you got guys like Marcus Williams, who's probably the best free safety in football. You got to pay this guy. You got to rebuild that offensive line. Like I know Armstead may be a free agent. You got to. There's a lot of things that you have to do. And a lot of fans in the hot take media don't get is quarterback don't solve everything.
Nope.
It doesn't. And so you got to build this team up. And so the media saying, for instance, Russell Wilson has all these offensive line, blah, blah, blah. So you bring them here with the same issues. What do you think is going to happen? Now you got more money in your cap.
Right.
I understand that was a tough loss and that you guys had a season with a lot of promise. And that was a bad luck injury to Winston and Kamara and Michael Thomas, who should have gotten this surgery in January. But I look at some positives. That defense plays their butt off. They got a lot of pride. They're not going to tank. Pro players are not going to tank because many of these guys may be looking for a job next year and they want good film out there. They're not going to tank. They got pride. They're going to play their butts off.
Right.
And I'm a Bucks fan. I admire that about the Saints, man. They're a proud team. They play their butts off. They just got 2 bullets right now in a 6-shooter. And it happens. But
man.
I can say, man,
Snake bit. That's all there is to it. T. Smitty, what I don't understand is, and I say this so much on social media and on this podcast, Drew Brees has really clouded the judgment of how Saints fans analyze the quarterback position. Like he really has got these fans believing that to be a formidable quarterback is flawless execution. Like Drew Brees was so he was so meticulous and so calculating that for 15 years, everybody just thought man, you know what I'm saying? Like this dude is what it is. Now it's like he leaves, we can find that somewhere else. No, you can't, man. Like the dude was special. And also another thing that I don't understand is that anybody that comes after him that doesn't play like him or doesn't play, doesn't make the decisions that he makes, we just automatically ready to toss him away. If everybody can do what Drew does, everybody would be a Hall of Famer. I'm serious. how special would it be how special would Drew Brees be if everybody can do what he did for 15 years? If Taysom Hill can just jump in and play the same way Drew did or Jameis does. All I'm saying is I don't understand what people are expecting. Like I don't understand like what they expect. Like Jameis was giving you results. I'd rather him make some mistakes and we're winning than him make mistakes and we losing. At least the Saints were actually winning. You can critique, he should have threw the ball this way, but they were winning. Now it's like the quarterback position, this dude is gone. I mean, bro, you know what I'm saying? Like, how can anybody fix their lips and their mouth to talk about Jameis Winston performance after 5 weeks of ineptitude at the quarterback position? Like, seriously, this quarterback position has looked like trash over the last 5 weeks.
It's not even close. And I'll say this. Now, I'm 43. I'm dating myself here. And I'm still trying to find that Dolphins team doctor who done signed off on Drew Brees and sending him a fruit basket. I got Nick Saban in Alabama. But appreciate that. But people don't realize there were years of Drew Brees threw 20-plus picks. He wasn't with Drew Brees at year 15 with the Saints in year 1. Because to make those calls, like people talk about protection and stuff, that's experience in the offense. And usually your first year in the offense is a slow year. Hell, look at Tom Brady on the Bucs last year. He had to put it in his system and to look good. And that was year 1. People don't – it's like this isn't Madden. And plus, players, you got to learn that new system because no matter how, like, say, Jameis sacked that year, you still got to play. It's like driving for the first time. You can drive your mama and daddy around the country and stuff, but till you get in that car your first time, that's when you really learn. Yep. And I think one thing I got to tell people, the reason you think Simeon is letting him loose a little bit when he played is because every time he threw a sketchy pass, the media didn't have to put up a montage of all his turnovers. He wasn't in fear of anything. Jameis was in fear of probably not having another starting gig. Every time he threw a pass, they got tipped or something. Right. And I just think, and when you notice also, right, correct me if I'm wrong on this, they ain't start talking about the Saints' lack of receivers till Jameis got hurt and Simeon Taysom got. Now all we hear about is the lack of receivers now. Where was all this a couple weeks before when he was playing? It's like they moved the goalpost on this guy.
And then, if you want to be honest, I think they should have really amplified based on him leaving and based on what they actually showing on the field. That ought to show you how special this dude actually can be with some actual quality receivers. Because if he was out here with a 5-2 record with this, that tells you everything you need to know about a guy. I don't understand. And then I'm gonna say something that may sound controversial too, T. Smitty. I guarantee you that the Saints would not have lost 5 straight with Jameis Winston, because I'm gonna tell you something. I think that Michael Thomas would have been more, more willing to come back. And I guarantee you that Alvin Kamara and Ryan Ramczyk and Teron Armstead wouldn't have been out as long. Man, the Saints know what it is, bro. They know what it is. They know they're behind the 8 ball. Those guys know what they have inside of that locker room. They know what these dudes have to offer at the quarterback position, and they know if they want to go out there and try to perform, and they know if it's just a waste of time. There's no way in the world, I feel like, if Jameis would have just been out for a couple weeks, I feel like Michael Thomas would have been, it wouldn't have been no re-aggravation or no ankle. I just feel like he was probably not going to be 100%, but he was going to still try to come back and still try to work through it. He'll probably be 100% by the end of the season. When he seen Jameis go down, he was like, man, I'll see y'all next season. And I think it's the same thing with Alvin Kamara. Alvin Kamara, there's no way in the world he would have missed 4 games if Jameis Winston would have been a quarterback, because like you said, they believed in that dude. I don't feel like they have that same level of belief when it comes to Taysom, when it comes to Trevor Siemian. They did not have that same energy. Even in the offseason, before they even named Jameis Winston the starter, you go look at any interview from Saints players coming into the 2021 season. They were talking as if Jameis Winston was going to be the starter. So my point is, they wouldn't have lost 5 straight games. The Saints just don't believe in that quarterback room and what they got there right now. And that's the reason why I feel like they're in the position they are in. So it is what it is. But T. Smitty, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. And call back anytime, man. I got a few more calls to get to.
Hey, thanks for taking my call, and hey, and get well. You and your family get well soon, good brother.
All right, thank you, man. Appreciate that.
All right.
Yeah, man. Yeah, there's no way in the world them boys would have, man. We would have seen Michael Thomas come back. I knew I may be out of pocket for saying this, and if he was to see this, he'll probably be upset. But it is what it is, man. Like, you can't fool me. That dude would have played. He made a business decision. Am I going to go out there and risk my career to catch passes from Trevor Siemian? You know what I'm saying? Am I going to go out here and risk my career catch passes from Taysom Hill? No, sir. No, sir. They wouldn't have lost 5 straight because you would have seen Kamara. You would have seen Ramczyk. The Saints knew what their playoff chances were when Jameis Winston went down. Yeah, it's just as simple as that. I'm gonna go to Grant. Grant, how you doing, man?
Hey, what's up, TJ? Can you hear me, man?
I can hear you, man. What you got for us?
First of all, TJ, I just want to say, I want to say I'm a big fan of the show, and I'm calling in. I listen every week.
Yeah, thanks, man.
And to kind of expand on what that I don't know what to call it, that young man, I guess I'm not that much older than him. Jemiah said, Trevor's better at passing, Taysom's better at running. So here's what we can do, TJ. I have a theory and a plan. I think this will work. What we do is we take Trevor and Taysom. We tie them together, all right? Arm to arm, leg to leg, and we see what we can do.
I like that plan. It can't be no worse than what I've seen the offense play the last couple of weeks. I'm willing to try anything now, man. There's this commercial that's going around. They have a play where they bring a baby, a stroll out on a field, and a baby being there. I'm ready to bring the baby out on the field. If that can help the offense do something, they need to figure something out, man. It's bad business right now. But what do you think about the game tonight, man? What do you think? What do you think about the team overall performance?
TJ, I'm gonna play a little bit of a devil's advocate with the Saints. I think, I don't want to bash on Taysom. I don't think my feelings on with Taysom, right? I think he can play quarterback, right? But I don't think he should play quarterback.
Okay.
Taysom's the kind of guy where, it's 3rd down and 3, right? You put him in the line, it meant to confuse everybody. That's where he thrived, whenever Drew Brees was the quarterback.
Right.
3rd down and 3, something's gonna happen, But him being the guy, taking every snap, throwing it 41 times a game, that's not his thing. I think he thrived much more when he was a tight end, when, he comes in for a play, then he's on the sideline doing something else. Because what like the main reason, I believe, or one of the main reasons, well, I guess after tonight, there's a lot of reasons, that he wasn't the starting quarterback was he offers so many things to the offense that putting him in quarterback really limits him.
Right.
So
I agree. That's a good point. And that's one of the main reasons Trevor Siemian actually started. And also, I think it had a lot to do with the fact that, they pretty much give you the same type of success of winning. Look, there was nothing different I seen tonight, for the exception that Taysom Hill can run. Like, it's basically like watching Trevor Siemian with legs. With wheels. That's it. Like that, Trevor Siemian. If Trevor Siemian can run, then you basically have Taysom Hill. You know what I'm saying? If he can drop a shoulder or something. But that's the only difference I've seen in this game. Like, the dude, like, I don't know, man. I really don't get it. But yeah, go ahead, man.
With Jameis, I don't understand why people are thinking or even acting like Jameis couldn't run. Now, he's not going to be like Taysom. He's not going to throw a shoulder. He's not going to hurdle over people.
Right.
But he pretty much served the same purpose. You need a drive to continue. Nobody's open. Especially whenever Jameis was starting, our big complaint was the receivers can't get open. He would just run it in himself. He'd slide or something like that. Now, but I think Taysom just does it. Taysom just does it prettier. So that's what gets a lot of Saints fans going, is that it looks nicer when Taysom does it rather than when Jameis does it.
It's excitement. It's the excitement factor that he brings. Like, he is an exciting football player. Like, he generates excitement, but that excitement like clouds people's judgment. It basically, because of the excitement that he brings, it makes people want to see him more. And sometimes, it makes him feel like, oh man, we want to see him on the field as a quarterback. No, you don't. Like that. He ran the ball. He ran for 101 yards tonight. That was impressive. But when it was time for him to throw the ball, and this was even before he got the middle finger splint. I mean, I didn't see no passes that like was just, just completely accurate or on the money. I ain't seen none of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was none of those things. The best pass that he threw was to Juwan Johnson. That was the best pass. Like, that was the best pass he threw all night long. But like I said, it's too few and far in between.
And I understand he can run. I'm sorry. I understand he can run, TJ, but it's attractive and it's exciting to have a dual threat quarterback. But one of the main job of a quarterback is to throw the ball. And Taysom Hill went 19 for 41 tonight.
Yep.
If Jameis had done that, they would have had him. He would have been. The Saints fans would have just crucified this man. And I really agree with what you said earlier, TJ. And a lot of Saints fans needed to see this game. Even I'll throw my family under the bus. I was the odd one out in my family because I wanted Jameis as a starter. And they'd always come back with 30 for 30, 30 for 30. Okay. Nothing that Jameis could have done would have been as bad as Taysom was tonight at throwing the ball, unless he threw for 5 interceptions or something. I lost my point. Saints fans needed to see this game because there's a reason that Jameis was the starter, and him going down really blew our season up. You can tell even in the Saints fan, the Saints locker room, the players, as soon as Jameis went down, it was pretty much wraps. It sucked the air out of the dome, out of us, because as a defensive player, you're supposed you go out and you play hard and you play to win, but what's the point of going out there and playing your butt off just to get the ball back in Trevor Siemian's hands, or just to get the ball back in Taysom Hill's hands, knowing that you can't knowing you're gonna be on the field in maybe a minute, you're gonna be back on there trying to do damage control pretty much. And I do think that the Saints, until maybe the fourth quarter, they did play well tonight, because the Cowboys while they weren't impressive, they do have the number 1 ranked offense in the league. So it could have been much worse if the defense didn't play the way they did tonight.
Right.
Because before that, the score is, I think it's 27-10. The game was always in hand for the Saints, and multiple times in the fourth quarter, in the last 5 minutes, the offense just couldn't do anything to even make without that garbage time touchdown.
Yep.
There was nothing that they did that they could win the game.
Right.
The defense gave the ball back multiple times, got either a turnover or a 3 and out or forced a punt, and the Saints just gave it right back. The offense, I think the offense as a whole is just it's pretty much not unsalvageable, but pretty much unsalvageable.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's rock bottom here. You know what I'm saying? This is some dark times in the Who Dat Nation, man, when it comes to the offensive side of football. But also, this also is something that I feel like the Saints needed to see, because now you know the direction that you need to go in. I mean, you had all these injuries, and you're seeing some of these other guys have to come in to replace some of your starters, and you're seeing them play. Now you can go and have a real fair evaluation about who you want to keep and who you want to move on from. So I feel like this is a plus. And I think a lot of questions were answered from different situations. Like, people talking about Taysom ain't getting a chance. They wanted Taysom to start over Jameis. Now you see, okay, this dude that. To me, there's no excuse for this. You had a full week of preparation, right? The Saints played last Thursday on, you know what I'm saying? So that's a week. That's equivalent to, you know what I'm saying, Sunday to Sunday. He knew Friday that the next day that he was going to be starter. He got the first team reps, all practice. Every single practice, every day in practice, he got first team reps. They gave him the game plan for him to go out there and execute. And he goes out there and he throws 4 interceptions. To me, that speaks volumes. Okay, it just speaks volume. It's not like if he would have did this against the Buffalo Bills, that would have been like, okay, all right, you know what I'm saying? Buffalo have top 3 defense. Like, you know what I'm saying? Dallas ain't got no top 3 defense. What they rank like 13 or something like that, middle of the pack.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like you can't, like, you know, it's not like you can't do anything against their defense. I mean, those corners and safeties get torched game after game. So it's not like you couldn't take advantage of that. So, I mean, he got his opportunity. I'm pretty sure he's going to get another opportunity, but I think it pretty much showed me, man, the Saints need to go in a different direction at quarterback. But Grant, thank you so much, man. I appreciate the call, man.
Before I go, TJ, I just wanted to give a shout out to somebody in the chat.
Okay.
That kid that called in earlier, Jemiah, his mom was in the chat actually, Miss Brittany. I can't remember if she had her last name. I just want to give a shout out to Miss Brittany. She really did. You know, she raised a good kid there.
Yeah.
And it's glad, you know, the way he came in, he composed himself is a lot better than, you know, a lot of the Saints fans that have been watching as long as I've been alive. So it's really cool to see that we have some cool people in the Who Dat Nation. And you know, it's dark times right now, but you know, the sun's always gonna come out. It's not gonna stay the night. It's not gonna be night forever, you know.
Right.
Just gotta keep, you know, have faith in the team. We'll figure it out. We always do.
Yeah. I mean, look, I'm still a Saints fan. This doesn't change the way I feel about the team.
And I was telling my mom after every loss, I'm not gonna be a Saints fan for like 3 days, but once I get over it, I get out my feelings, then I'm still gonna be a Saints fan.
I mean, it's just tough times, man, but we're gonna get through it. But Grant, thank you so much, man. Thank you for calling in.
Yes, sir, TJ. You have a good one. Hope you and Pax feel better.
All right, thanks, man. Appreciate it. Yeah. I'm gonna read a few more, and then we'll just finish up the phone lines. Coach says, what's insane is that Bobby Bell and WWL just said if Chris was still playing, the team would be 6-6. The disrespect is unreal. Jameis had this team with all his issues, balling. What's your take, TJ? Said if Chris was still playing. What are we talking about? We talking about Jameis? Talking about if Jameis was still playing, that'd be 6-6. I mean, I don't know about that, man. I don't know about that. You know, I think they'll be much better because, like I said, I just think some guys would have come back, and I think some guys would have played through some injuries as well. I think them guys looked at what they saw in the locker room at quarterback, and they said, "Man, look here, I'm not going to jeopardize my future for this," because they knew that what they had at the quarterback position wasn't going to get them where they need to be. Man, we can pretend all day. We can pretend and joke and all that kind of stuff about next man up. Look, man, all that stuff is just straight up, PR work. Like, them dudes know what's up. They know who suck. They know who can ball. They know who can't ball. They know who throwing the ball into the Gatorade stands and throwing it into the stands and missing guys, you know what I'm saying, 20, 30 yards down the field. Like, they know what's up, man. And when you're a professional, that kind of stuff affects you. So I don't feel like that would have been as bad because I feel like guys will want to play for Jameis. What Jameis brings to the table, he can make all the throws. His leadership ability, his how people just gravitate to him because he's such a good guy. I think all that plays volume. So I don't think so. I think that a lot of what you see on the field and what you see on the sidelines tells you a lot about what a lot of these players think about what they actually have offensively. Because, I mean, look, if I was a safety or a cornerback and I got hurt for a couple of weeks and I had an ankle injury and they're like, oh, you know what I'm saying, the prognosis is you'll be able to play it 4 weeks. Then all of a sudden, they're like, okay, am I going to be fully healed in 4 weeks? Well, not exactly. You'll just be good enough to play. Guess what I'm doing? I'm sitting out for the rest of the season, especially if I know for a fact that, I mean, look, man, what I see on the field, ain't no way I'm about to go out there and put it all on the line for that. I'm just not. You can call me a quitter and all that kind of stuff there, but we know what it is. We know what it is, man. We know who the ballers are. We know who it is, and those guys know it. We're gonna go to Derek. Derek, how you doing, man?
What's up with you, TJ? How you doing, man? Who that to you, man?
Man, who that, man? What you got for us?
Man, I got a few things, man. I guess this answered the whole, Taysom at the quarterback situation, right? Throwing 4 interceptions. So you know what I'm saying? I mean, it just looked it awful, man. You were absolutely right. His throws look like punts, and literally you just seen, coming towards the end of the game, you seen interception at the interception at the interception. And I was like, man, you just giving the game away at this point. And if and the answer the whole Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, deal. Let me talk about how this all got started. Aaron Rodgers goes to the Green Bay Packers and says, "Hey, I need another weapon." So they said, "Okay." So when the draft comes, they trade up and they draft his successor instead of the weapon. Literally, you can argue that Aaron Rodgers was a weapon away from beating Tom Brady in that NFC Championship game. I'm just going to call it like I see it. So I'm looking at he didn't sign an extension.
Mm-hmm.
Then you see at the beginning of the season when they asked Devontae Adams, "Hey, you coming back?" He said, "No chance." He's not signing the extension either. So Devontae ain't signing the extension. Aaron Rodgers ain't signing the extension. So that can make the Saints in play as well. And then with the Russell Wilson situation, you remember what he said in the beginning of the season. He said, "Well, hey, if I can get traded to any team, Dallas, Raiders, New Orleans Saints," and I think it was either 2 others. So I'm looking at, and he didn't sign an extension. So I'm just looking at it like, well, if I'm Sean Payton and if Aaron Rodgers or Russell Wilson or whatever, they agents call me and say, "Hey, these guys are in," I got to go to them before I get to Jameis. Because at the end of the day, who don't want to see, if you got Aaron Rodgers, Michael Thomas, Alvin Kamara on one team, then whatever you do in the draft, if you draft another weapon or a wide receiver or a running back, dude, you ain't talking about playoff contention. You talking about a Super Bowl.
Right.
Same go with Russell Wilson. Now, if I don't get either one of those guys, that's when I could say, okay, I bring back Jameis on a 1-year prove-it deal. Because yes, he did have a productive season, but also I got to factor in, I'm not going to pay him a lot of money, not because I feel like he didn't, don't deserve it, but because it's an ACL, bro. It's an ACL. And I know once I bring him back, he's not coming back potentially week 5 or week 6 in the season because he got hurt in October? So he's going to be out a few games. He's not going to play in September. So, that's why I think, and that's what, and for the draft, I think we do need to go wide receiver. We need to either look, like I say, Ohio State got a few wide receivers, and Garrett Wilson and Chris Olave. You go to Alabama, you got Jonathan Mechie and Jamison Williams. Just the list goes on. And I think, yeah, man, that's why I think we need to go out. And I think I'm looking towards the future, man. This season is pretty much a wrap. Now, if we lose to the Jets, now that is bad. I didn't like this loss, but if we lose to the Jets, I'm just like, come on, man. because it's the Jets. That's why. Because it's the Jets.
Yeah. I mean, look, it's some bad times. So I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if they was to lose to the Jets. The Jets still play pretty hard for the most part. But look, I just think that based on like all of the guys that they have to pay, the salary cap situation that they're dealing with, I mean, I don't know if you're going to be able to get a guy like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure they can manipulate the numbers, and some guys want to take pay cuts, and they can extend people, a little bit longer, give them, some of their money up front. But I think that, to me, the logical choice is Jameis Winston. Like I really like.
I agree.
The guy is good. People act like this dude is just straight trash. Like people just can join this 30 for 30 thing.
Because TJ, because they refuse to change their mindset about what he did in Tampa, going 30 for 30. That's it. That's the only reason, bro. That's literally it. Man, I'm telling you, bro, that's the only reason. They just refuse to be positive. They refuse to think positive about it. It has to be something. Everything that this man has done before he got hurt, it's been positive and it's been productive. And they refuse to look at it.
They don't want to look at it. I'm just saying, like, what has this, like, people are just ready to throw this dude away like he just the worst thing ever. I'm like, what did this dude actually do? Like, he played pretty good. And then people like, look at this offense, man. Like, look at this offense. Look what he was playing with. And people just sitting up here saying, well, you know, I don't know. I don't think that he's the answer. Maybe they need to look. I'm like, for him to even like get any type of production out of these dudes, like, was a little, it was nothing short of a miracle. So how in the world can you really, like, how can anybody fix their lips to really fully evaluate this dude based on the trash? I'm talking about the hot garbage that they put out here on the field this whole entire season. But they up here talking about this man and critiquing this dude. It'll be one thing if this dude, if he was throwing to Michael Gallup and CeeDee Lamb and Amari Cooper, and you know what I'm saying, he was throwing over their heads and throwing picks, then I'd be like, okay, well, I mean, this dude out here throwing to undrafted free agents, no-name guys that they just got off the street. And you know what I'm saying, y'all expect for this man to go out here and channel his inner Drew Brees, channel his inner Patrick Mahomes. Like, it's just a miracle. It's just a miracle these dudes just lost 2 games with this trash that was on the field all year long, man. I'm a Jameis supporter. I don't see.
Me too.
I feel like this dude can lead, you know what I'm saying, the Saints where they need to go. I think he has the arm talent. I think he has the leadership. I think that he has the skill set. I just think that you need to put some players around him. And I guarantee you, if you put some players around Jameis Winston, I guarantee you the Saints will go back to being the number 1 offense in the league. I guarantee you.
And I've been saying that, dude. This dude, and you know, I could take it back, and I know it's college football, but look at his college record, bro. He is a proven winner. This man didn't start losing because you got to look at it. When he was drafted, I think it was 2014, 2015 draft. Yeah, I think when he got drafted by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they were one of the worst teams in the damn league.
All right.
That's what people fail to realize. He didn't have a winning formula when he got to Tampa. You know what I'm saying? They didn't build around him correctly. They didn't have a stable coaching staff with stable assistants, stable players, bro. It was like damn near a revolving door of coaches coming in and out every time every year, literally every year he was there. He like, man, who are you? Oh man, I'm the new head coach of the Tampa Bay. Oh, I'm the new head coach. It was like, dude, I just learned this other guy's thing. You know, this other guy's now I got to learn your strategy now. So it was like, dude, and I always said that about Jameis. And he came into a great system with the Saints, with us, you know. Stable organization, stable head coach. You know, he's behind Drew Brees, and he learned a lot, you know, and like I said, I would make a run if I could. You know, that's just my preference with Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson. But if I can't, he is the option, Jameis Winston. You know what I'm saying? He is the option. And I wouldn't even be upset about that, because the main thing I said this season, well, you can't really say nothing bad about this season because he didn't have Michael Thomas.
Right.
He didn't have a lot of, like you said, you know, like I always say, you know what I'm saying, he didn't have anybody. He literally was throwing to a toothpick, a nail file, and some razor clippers. It just wasn't a good situation for him this year. And then you know, chop that all off, the injury, which was a dirty play by Devin White. I rock with Devin White, man. You know, I'm an LSU. I'm an LSU fan, bro. I rock with him, bro. But you know, with that play right there, man, that was dirty.
Yeah, I agree. You know, I just think that he basically just, this guy single-handedly like destroyed the same season. You know what I'm saying? Like when Jameis Winston went down, that was the season went with him. But Derek, I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much for the phone call, bro.
Man, thank you, man. Who that to you, man? I hope you feel better.
All right, thanks, man. Yeah. look, I'm a Jameis guy. I just think that Jameis like checks all the boxes. And I understand that he's gonna be coming off ACL injury, MCL, but I still believe in Jameis. I think that the guy works hard. I think he dedicates himself to want to become a better quarterback. I've seen improvements. I just think that he just need better talent around him. And the fact that he won 5 games and lost 2 as the starter for the New Orleans Saints with these wide receivers, I think people just need to give that man some credit. I mean, you got to get this dude some credit, man. Like, look what everybody else is doing with these wide receivers, and look what he was doing. At least he was making them formidable. At least he was sustaining drives. At least they was going out there trying to do something. But now that he's gone, man, they're not doing anything at all. I mean, they look pathetic, man. Bring back Jameis, but please get him some savage weapons, man. That's what I'm talking about. That's when I feel like you can really critique him. I think that if you give him some weapons, some guys that can get open, look out. Saints would have to retool like hell to surround Aaron Rodgers with enough to make us a contender. Yeah, that is true. That's true. Let me see. Dirk Cutter was his head coach and offensive coordinator for 4 years, and the BA came, and in his 5th year with the no risk and no biscuit crap. Yeah. I just think that Tom Brady came in with a little cachet, so it caused Bruce Arians to change the way that he actually ran the offense. Everybody forgetting that team's going to be gunning for our coaching staff, especially the D-line coach and Dennis Allen. Yeah, that's true. Well, I mean, you just got to retool and revamp. But that's one of the best things about this whole situation to me, because if something was to happen to Dennis Allen, you'll have Chris Richard as your defensive coordinator. And I tell you what, I like Chris Richard a lot. So if Dennis Allen just so happened to get another head coaching job, I don't think I'll be losing no sleep that Chris Richard ended up taking his place as a defensive coordinator. Lovie Smith was his head coach for 1 year, and Dirk was the offensive coordinator that year, and they fired Lovie because people were after him. Yeah, man, Lovie Smith was a really good coach. Big mistake that they let him go. Looking at next year draft will show where the Saints heads are at. Shelf Kamara. Yeah. You just wait for Kamara to get healthy. If he can't get healthy enough, have that man sit on the bench for the rest of the season. Do we look good enough to attract those other quarterbacks? Yeah. I mean, look, the Saints had a lot of injuries, man. Like, it was an injury play. This is an injury plague season. So you can't really judge these guys based on like what they put on the field. Like they put on the field what they actually have in stock. All right. The other guys are hurt. So you can't really judge this team based on what you see right now. It's not their real actual team. It's not what they thought they were going to come out here with. And yes, you do have injuries throughout the season, but I ain't never seen nothing to this magnitude. It's like somebody put a hex on the Saints or something. It's like somebody need to dig up that chicken bone outside the Superdome or something. Like, my goodness, man. Like, I ain't never seen so many starters down. Like, basically, you can have an old starting squad with the injuries the Saints have. We're going to go to Lob City. Lob City, how you doing, man? Lob City. Lob
Can you
City.
hear,
Yeah, I can
can you
hear
hear
you,
me,
man.
TJ? Can
Yeah,
you
I
hear
can
me?
hear you. Yeah, how
All
you
right.
doing, man?
What's up, bro? Yeah, I got a few hot takes, man. They probably unpopular opinions, but
Nah, that's fine, man. Speak your
yeah,
mind.
first one, I feel like Sean Payton this year, man, his offense has been like too conventional. Like it's been too predictable. I feel like even obviously we have the injuries, but I just like his arrogance, like he's failed to adopt to where the current NFL is. Like, yeah, he runs a little quarterback power at Taysom Hill, but like, really, what have you seen that has changed in his offense that he's been running the last 10, 15 years?
That's a good point. But I can't make a case to he really didn't have to change anything because he had Drew. This is really the first time in his entire head coaching career, where he has to like kind of make an adjustment offensively. Because you knew what you had with Drew every single year. I mean, you had that stability, you know what he was good at, and you can kind of, create your offensive game plan around that. Now you got guys like Taysom, who's different
Right.
from Drew. You have a guy like Jameis who's different from Drew, and Trevor Siemian. So this is the first time really we seen Sean Payton really have to step outside of his element and into unfamiliar territory and do it consistently. Like, yeah, Drew got hurt a couple years, but it wasn't to a point where you just had to significantly change the offense because you knew eventually Drew was going to come back. You don't have that luxury anymore. So I do think that he needs to get better at coaching offensively. I do agree with you on that one.
Right. And I feel like if you just look at like situationally this year, he's been like very lackluster, like in just time management, like just bad timeouts, wasting timeouts in times where we need him, going for it in bad situations or kicking field goals in long situations. I feel like it's just like the media has not been putting enough on him. Like obviously we're down weapons, but he could definitely be coaching a lot better than where he has been in previous years. And I feel like he was arrogant, like coming to the season, like the whole fan base knew we needed another receiver. Even if we had Mike, we knew we needed another receiver. And I mean, they're in the building, they see like what's on the field now. There's no way he could have thought like that these receivers were going to work unless he's just that arrogant about his offense. Because even when Jameis was in there, yeah, we were 5-2, but that was because the defense was playing like literally out of their mind. Like the offense had one or two good games. Like the week 1 Green Bay game was good, and then maybe the Redskins game or the Washington game.
Yeah, I guess you can say the New England game too. I mean, they ran the ball pretty well in that game. It wasn't so much the passing game, but I think that the running game played really well in that game. But I do think that there is a level of arrogance when it comes to Sean Payton. I really do believe that. I think that he feels like he can get the best out of just pretty much anybody, and I do think that he paraded those guys out there on the field because he thought, man, I can make it work. But I think he's seeing now that maybe he this whole situation to me just shows you how special Drew Brees was as a quarterback and how he just took nothing and made something out of it. But Sean Payton, I mean, he has to change the way that he coaches. I think a lot of this is my honest opinion, Live City. He doesn't trust these football players. That's just what it is. Like he has these guys out there on the field, but I don't think he 100% trusts that these guys can get the job done. That's why I think a lot of the plays that they have, a lot of the receivers are like decoys, right? They just running aimlessly. Like the ball ain't gonna go their way. It's probably just a handful of players where he feels comfortable. Oh, they're gonna catch the ball. That's why you don't really see really too many plays designed for Callaway, too many plays designed for Deontay Harris. Like, why wouldn't you want Deontay Harris to run jet sweeps? Why wouldn't you want him to run like quick slants? Like stuff like that. Like, why wouldn't you even try to line Deontay Harris up in the backfield, let him run in between the tackles or something? Like, why, like if you really trust these players, why aren't you putting them in a position to succeed? I think that's one thing that the Saints need to get away from. What Sean Payton does is he come up with these packages, and when these guys have like these certain skill sets, like if you're really, really fast, he gonna send you on like streak routes or down the field plays. Like even if you like kind of shifty, he not gonna like set up any, quick slants for you. He's not gonna do any jet sweeps. Oh, you're fast, so you're gonna be our down the field threat. Oh, you know what I'm saying? Like you're big, you know what I'm saying? You're big and tall, so we're gonna put you in the slot so you can be our third down guy. Like he needs to change the way that he actually constructs his offense because it becomes stale and too predictable. Like what guys are going to do when they come into the game. Like what the guys are for. It's almost like when Robin Meacham was there, Devery Henderson. Like what they were in the game for, and you knew they rolled. So he can't run the team like that anymore because he gonna have to change it up. He gonna have to get with it, or he gonna have to get lost eventually. People gonna start calling for his head soon.
Yeah, I'm not calling for that, but I do think like with all the personnel packages, he definitely got to cut back on that like going forward, just because it's slow. The offense has been like actually moving in the 2 minute this year, but like when he get into all them personnel packages, subbing people in
Right.
and out, I feel like it just killed the momentum of the
Right.
game. Like the fans be out of it, the players be out of it, and you just can't convert first downs.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty bad, man. And then also the pulse of the game. Like when
Right.
you had Taysom Hill driving down the field, not on those H power runs, and then you go to 3rd and 2. Then all of a sudden, like now you want to throw the football. Like they couldn't stop you at all on the drive you running the football. Rather it was Taysom, rather it was Mark, couldn't stop him. But all of a sudden you want to go back there and throw the ball and lose 13 yards. Why? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I mean, I say that all the time. Like, you think Kyle Shanahan cared in the NFC Championship game versus the Green Bay Packers a couple of years ago that Jimmy Garoppolo threw the ball 10 times? No, he didn't. I mean, sometimes you just got to go with what works. And running the football, Dallas couldn't stop it. And I just felt like if they would have kept on going in that direction, maybe the game would have been a little bit more competitive during the end. But Lob City, man, thank you so much. Call back anytime, man.
Yeah, thanks, bro. Have a good night.
All right, you too. Yeah, I mean, look, you gotta be you gotta be a little bit more innovative if you're Sean Payton. Sean Payton needs to get a little bit more innovative, but at the same time, I mean, can't say I too much blame him for not trusting the players that are out there. I mean, these guys can't really catch. They can't get separation. They can't catch the contested passes. They're running the wrong routes. They're missing blocks. I mean, one time I think I seen a run, and Traquan Smith was trying to throw a block. I mean, completely whiffed on that thing. I mean, it's just embarrassing to watch, man. Well, I mean, the final thought that I have before we get up out of here is simple, right? We kind of saw this coming, Who That Nation. I mean, the injuries that they sustained, you have all these players that hurt, a lot of playmakers. We knew that the Saints was going to be going through a tough time. But I would like to see the Saints continue to play and battle and just continue to try to fight like how they've been doing. I mean, they didn't roll over tonight. They tried to give it everything they could, but it just couldn't get done. And also want to go ahead and put this disclaimer out here real quick to verify something that I said. All right. This is via Twitter. All right. When somebody was telling me about Taysom Hill. All right. And it says right here at the top, I said, and this was, what day did I say this? This was on November 26th when Taysom Hill was named the starter. It said, just for the record, I don't think Taysom is the answer either. That's what I put. That's what I said. That's what I put on the screen. That's what I put out there on social media. So people were like, I was just waiting and I wanted Taysom Hill just to come in and save the day for the New Orleans Saints. That is not true, right? I just said that it can't be any worse than what I've seen from Trevor Siemian. All right, I'm going to read a few of these comments, then we're going to go ahead and head up out of here. Everyone was like, why not start Taysom Hill? And he had that foot injury. Well, I mean, the whole entire Superdome last week was chanting Taysom's name. I wonder what they chanting tonight. I wonder if they chanting Trevor's name. Can't blame Peyton for this game, though. No, not really. Can't blame him. I mean, I just think that Sean Payton is desperate at this particular point. He's trying to do anything that works. Anything he can find that can work. He thinks CJ can make chicken salad out of chicken, you know what. Well, that ain't the case. Safe is best in an injury-riddled season like this. Yeah, I'm not looking for key guys to come back. I mean, you're basically playing for pride at this particular point. I don't see you making the playoffs. And I think you pretty much put the nail in the coffin tonight. If Drew was in another offense, his performance would be lackluster too. Drew played the same offense a long time. Well, I think it takes two to tango. I think Drew Brees' ability, along with Sean Payton's innovative play calling, it was just a match made in heaven. You need a good trigger man, and that's who Drew Brees was for Sean Payton. He was a good trigger man. Without Payton, Drew was Doug Flutie at best. I think that I don't want to say that he would have been Doug Flutie. I think that you can't if it was just Sean Payton, anybody could be able to do it. You know, like if it was just Sean Payton, he can get anybody to do it. I think that it takes a special player to do what Drew did. I think that the combination of Sean Payton just brought the best out of Drew or what he already had. You look at some of these players that the Saints have at quarterback now, I mean, I don't think that he'll be able to bring and push that out of them like he did Drew. But Drew, I mean, coming to the Saints, I mean, he was a Pro Bowler, you know, and he was like playing much better. And there was like a little bit of a quarterback controversy. And who knows what would have happened if Drew Brees didn't mess up his shoulder. Bring back Winston with the same better wide receivers with Kamara, and we'll be back on top. This is just our down year on the next year. I hate to say it, but the Saints may have kind of dodged the bullet here because some teams may look at Jameis Winston as, you know, and I'm not saying this, but teams will look at him as being damaged goods. He's not, you know, they're not going to try to pay top dollar for a guy that's coming off a torn ACL and MCL injury. So maybe Jameis will fall back into the Saints' lap and you can probably get him, you know, a 1 or a 2 year deal. Me personally, I think that the way the dude played, I think the Saints should at least sign him to at least a 1 year deal or a 2 year deal with more money. You know what I'm saying? Like what, you know, option, you know, for a team option or something like that, where, you know, he can become a free agent, you know what I'm saying? And maybe the Saints can put like some of that money up front, give him a little bit more money than he would have made this year. But I do think that the ball is in the Saints' court because, you know, it gives the Saints an opportunity to figure out what they want to do. Because I don't see many teams trying to go out here trying to get a guy with a torn ACL, you know, coming off ACL injury. Even though I think that Jameis is going to bounce back tremendously, and I think he's going to play really well. Saints likely will be going in different directions next, regardless of health of Winston, Russell, Watson. Is likely the direction Saints are going to push for hard. Yeah, I think that I think the Saints may aggressively try to look at some of these other guys, but I wouldn't try to push too aggressive, especially if you don't have the money to do it. I ain't trying to set my team back, you know. Wide receiver and tight end O-line will be looked at hard. Saints have plenty of draft picks, but signing a real good veteran receiver is top on the list. Yeah, man. I'm more in the neighborhood of getting yourself a young, exciting wide receiver early in the draft. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, wide receiver out of Ohio State, you know, somebody like that, you know, they can go opposite of Michael Thomas. Like, I think that we still have to understand that Michael Thomas is still, you know, a really good wide receiver. Last time we seen him play. So you get yourself somebody that's a rookie, young, got him on a rookie deal, somebody that you can go out here and try to make something happen with, along with Michael Thomas. You know, maybe try to sign yourself somebody like, I don't know, a Robbie Anderson or something like that. If you don't want to go back to Carolina, do something like that, right? You know, but this wide receiver group that you got right now, this ain't it, bro. This ain't it. This ain't happening. They need to do something, man. I ain't seen it this bad in New Orleans in a minute. I mean, I got to go back to what? Sean Dawkins and Andre Hastings around this thing. Seems like to be the way to stand out and understanding blitzing. Let's see. We're going to scroll down. Can't have the O-line call out the blocks and separate yourself from great to good quarterbacks. Yeah, I mean, that's what Drew Brees did really well. Like, I think Drew Brees made this offensive line better than what they actually were, to be honest with you. Saints mentality can't let the refs acting bad affect their play. Saw this same story against the Titans. Well, they definitely took away the momentum of the game. I ain't gonna lie about that. They definitely took the momentum of the game away from the Saints. Like it seemed like every time the Saints would convert a first down and get a big play, here come a flag. And that blocking, you know what I'm saying? What they call the illegal blindside block or something like that. Like that was just a bunch of BS. And it stopped the Saints' momentum because the Saints were moving. Yeah, I think they even got a first down on that play. But they called Griffin for a blocking penalty. I'm like, man, give me a break. And don't give me that stuff about, oh, that don't really cause a team to lose. Not necessarily, but it can affect the momentum of the game. And the Saints were starting to get that momentum. They got that 3 and out. They got the ball back. They were starting to move the football. You know what I'm saying? I think there was like maybe short yardage to go, or they got a first down. But all of a sudden now you at 1st and 20. Like that stunted the momentum of that drive. And I just think that the Saints couldn't come back from it. Saints will be letting guys like Malcolm Jenkins walk. Armstead, Pete is few with high salaries that I don't see coming back. Yeah, I think you got to let go of Armstead. I think that most likely Landon Young. I think most likely he probably going to be playing left tackle next year. I actually like him. I think he played pretty well. I mean, he made some rookie mistakes. Of course, that comes with the territory. Andrews, Pete, bye-bye, farewell, please. And also, like you said, Malcolm Jenkins. Yeah, I think so. And you're gonna have a decision that you need to make, man. That you got Marcus Williams, you got him on a franchise tag. So he made about $10 million this year on the franchise tag. But now next year, you gotta have to think about extending guys like CJ Gardner-Johnson. And this may not sound like the popular opinion, but to be real with you, if it came between C.J. Gardner-Johnson and Marcus Williams, I'm signing C.J. Gardner-Johnson. C.J. Gardner-Johnson may not be the ball hawk that Marcus Williams is, but the dude have a dog mentality. He's a guy that's like that gives you that juice, that energy. And I feel like you can build a defense around this dude. Like I feel like this dude is one of those guys that I can see, as a lifer. Like he embodies the city. You know what I'm saying? He can be like that. He can be the pulse of the team. You know what I'm saying? Like as guys like Demario Davis leave, guys like Quan Alexander leave. You know what I'm saying? As they get older and fade out, you got a guy like C.J. Gardner-Johnson that can be there. So no disrespect to Marcus Williams. Everybody know how I feel about Marcus Williams, but you're not going to be able to pay both of them. I mean, it's just what it is. To me, I'm keeping C.J. Gardner-Johnson over Marcus Williams. Marcus Williams, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like he'll catch an interception. Yeah, he can erase some plays playing in the backfield. And yes, he does cover a lot of ground. But we still see issues when it comes to tackling. We still see issues when they talk about being out of position. And man, I need more. I need more out of the safety position. I need a guy that I know that is going to make some plays. When C.J. Gardner-Johnson is out there, he's flying all over the field. So if it's up to me, I would keep C.J. Gardner-Johnson before I keep Marcus Williams. And I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think it's a coincidence that the Saints signed him to that franchise tag. I think that's because they wanted to see, what he had this year. And is it worth keeping over C.J. Gardner-Johnson? So that's the way I feel about that. Yes, C.J. Gardner-Johnson is worth any risk. He is a very good player. You want to keep him. Marcus Williams is going likely as well with his salary demand. Yeah. And like I said, I like Marcus Williams a lot, but you can get more out of the safety position. You can get more. And he's going to go wherever team he goes to. He's going to get top dollar, and he deserves that, man, because he's one of the top safeties in the league. But I like the fire, the passion of C.J. Gardner-Johnson. So I definitely want to keep a guy like that. C.J. Gardner-Johnson, I feel, going to replace Jenkins. Yeah, that's the way I feel. And I think the Saints most likely probably going to draft themselves another safety to replace Marcus Williams. That's just the way I feel about it. But I want to say thank you all for checking out the State of the Saints podcast. Thank you to all those that called in. Really do appreciate it. Be sure to check us out on Facebook, facebook.com. Search the State of the Saints podcast. If you have not already, hit that like button and subscribe to the YouTube channel, youtube.com. Search the State of the Saints podcast. We're on to next week, on to the New York Jets. Hopefully the Saints can get back in a winner's circle. Have not been there in about 5 weeks, so hopefully we can get ourselves a win going against the Jets. I keep you all posted on any news coming out of New Orleans. Keep your head up, Who Dat Nation. I know it's tough times right now, but we're going to get through it together. You know, we still going to be rooting for the black and gold no matter what. And the State of the Saints podcast is going to be here. Previous episodes available on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Anchor FM. Till next time, all I got to say is, Who Dat?